The Carolina Panthers went out there and shut me up for one, winning the game against the Falcons 30-0, shutting out Michael Penix Jr. and Bryce Young, having a very good game to where I can't call them trash anymore. What can I say about the Carolina Panthers? I think that this team, shout out the Panthers and shout out Panthers fans, because this is the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing right now and going back and watching all these games. I had a thumbnail where I called Bryce Young trash, but I didn't really watch the game. I was just stat watching like all these other analysts that you see, or maybe even looking at the highlights. But I've decided to go back, watch these games, and the Panthers last game jumped off the screen. Now, the biggest thing that jumped off the screen this game, I got to be honest, was Michael Penix Jr. missing every pass, having no accuracy. But I got to say the Panthers defense at least forced some of that, and that pick six that they got, allowing 0 points. I mean, the Falcons couldn't move the ball. Bijan was strapped, all that. Plus, offensively, what Dave Canales did this game with Bryce Young is what needs to happen going forward. They helped him out. I hate when coaches tell quarterbacks to put on the cape around the first quarter of the game off rip. And for Bryce Young and the Panthers, that had been the problem early in the season. A lot of it, too, was pressure up the middle, blitz pickup, all that stuff. But that can be alleviated when you hand the ball off, give them a chance to read the game, get comfortable with the speed of the defense, get comfortable with the looks that you're seeing, and then you know what plays to use to attack down the field. And that's what happened. Chuba Hubbard and Dowdle were definitely just a 1-2 punch in this game. Just power, straight down the middle, run the ball, and loosen up for Bryce Young. But the thing is, Bryce is so fast and so athletic that once they run those play action fakes under center, and he's very comfortable under center, by the way, which most quarterbacks in there who come from spread systems, and I guess came from Bama, so Bama was spread by the time he got there, but most quarterbacks who come from those systems are not very comfortable under center. So the fact that Bryce could do it, and that gives you a downhill physical running game, and then play action off of that in space. I mean, he's just a huge problem, and he was creating a lot of issues for the Falcons in this game. No turnovers for Bryce Young for the first time this season, and that is exactly the game plan that the Panthers need to implement going forward, especially when on defense you got these dogs. Dante Jackson, who's one of the best corners in the league. No, Mike Jackson, sorry. Mike Jackson is one of the best corners in the league, and Jaycee Horn, who a lot of people are calling the best corner in the game right now. The advanced analytics would have it like that. I haven't watched him enough to say yay or nay, but I mean, when you shut out a team, you know, first time that's happened all season, we can't just point to the Falcons being bad. We got to point to the Panthers and what they did to them. Ted McMillan, he was making plays all over the field, the first round pick for them this year from Washington. I mean, he was just explosive. I really enjoyed how Canales really came and approached this game, and I feel like that caused them a lot of problems against the Jags and the Cardinals, was that they weren't approaching the games properly. They wanted to build upon maybe what they had last year. They were playing Bryce Young a lot in preseason. They wanted him to kind of be the focal point of the offense. He still can be that, but you got to help him out. This offensive line continues to rebuild and shuffle, and they're not a great unit. And Bryce Young, he can do a lot of things well, but clearly he's got a turnover bug. Well, you can help him alleviate that and get rid of those problems because, you know, by running the ball and helping him out. And by the way, I think part of the reason that Bryce Young has a turnover bug is he was used to teams before where they would lose the game, but he would try to score all these points. I think right now they have a very good defense. Now, some people call it top 10, top 5. I don't know about that yet. But this was definitely one of the best performances of the year for any team. So I'm very impressed by the Panthers, specifically what they did this game, because they easily could have thrown in the towel, given up, listened to critics like me, and said, quarterback stinks. The coach doesn't really know what he's doing. We just don't have the talent. But instead, they band together, and they really put the smack down on the Falcons. I mean, I don't want to underappreciate what they 30-0 to a team that we thought was solid. I actually thought they were a fringe playoff team. I don't think that now, but I thought they were a fringe playoff team coming into the season because of the weapons that they had, because Penis was going to have his second year in the system, I guess, and I thought that with all these weapons, he should be able to easily explode. Whereas you look at a Bryce Young, not nearly the same amount of weapons, and the Colt. I mean, I know the Falcons don't have a phenomenal resume as a team, but they have been known to make playoffs recently. Whereas the Panthers, I mean, they did it way back when. Obviously with Cam Newton in the MVP years, and then Jake Delhomme, if you want to go then. Yeah, I know ball. And back in the NFC Championship games in the early 2000s, like, they were a very good franchise, but they have not been that for a while, specifically since Tepper has taken over. So with that being the case, the Falcons and Penis had every opportunity. However, Bryce Young was just better, a lot better. He's more accurate, and he got in the rollout situations, and he looked like a different guy. It's good to see that growth in week 3. Now, the big question is they're playing the Patriots, and hey, look, I got them winning that game, or at least covering. It's a 5.5-point spread for the Patriots, which is wild. So I have them winning that game. But Bryce Young has to continue to do what he did, and it can't just be because they're up. Like, he's got to be consistently not turning the ball over for a couple of weeks to me, and that'll kind of right the ship of this. It could right the ship of this entire season, because I thought the Panthers actually before the year were a problem. I thought that they could cause a threat as well. Someone from the NFC South. It kind of has to be that second team, and that second team can cause damage, because I figured Minnesota might take a step back with no Darnold, and then only 2 teams would come out of the NFC West. Now, does that look like the case right now? No, NFC West is kind of fire, but for the Panthers, you just got to take it one game at a time, and it's going to be a very interesting game. Panthers fans and Patriots fans think they have a get right or get better game under the belt, and it's going to be interesting because both these teams this seasons are on the line, and both quarterbacks young, but they need to prove themselves to their teams. So for Bryce Young, huge opportunity. For this defense, can they continue to shut down another opponent? We shall see.